everyone, hope you're doing great. This is Bas Relief from GateauStudio.com. Today I will show you how to make a wedding cake in the quickest possible way. So here is my multi-dimensional wedding cake, and I have tried my best to incorporate different techniques into one cake. So as you can see, there is so much going on this cake. Being a nature lover, I always take inspiration from nature and I try to transform it into sugar art. So I have used the flowers and the hummingbirds and as many things possible from nature as I could incorporate into this. And the different techniques that I have used in here are the Bas Relief, the royal icing textures, wafer paper and Gumpaste flowers. I didn't place the top tier on the center of the base tier because I wanted to give it a modern look, and it is very well executed in this manner. So let's begin. So this is going to be our plain canvas. So first, what we are going to do for the Bas Relief, we are going to make you can say a base. In different Bas Relief cakes you might have seen the textures going underneath, but here we will do something different and we'll be using royal icing in two different consistencies. This is thin one and this is medium consistency, and to spread it we will be using the palette knife. And to give some impressions, we have here some brushes. These are the art brushes. So first what we'll do, we will take some of the royal icing, the thin one, and we will just spread it randomly. You can put thin, thick layer, it doesn't matter, because after a while we will remove it from some places and while we will give some impressions to different places. Your strokes should be random. So now I will drag it and remove like this. Okay. And here we have a different palette knife. So you just spread it around the royal icing, and you don't need to clean your palette knife. So at some places you just give this impression, and while using the plain palette knife, and at other places you can use this one and just go like this. Now we will use the royal icing with medium consistency, but spread it thinly in between the spaces, just randomly. Now I will take this brush and you just put some impressions. The reason I'm using two consistencies are that the thinner one you can spread it and it will give a smoother look, and as you can see in the background, and the medium consistency, if you apply different impressions to that, it will give a beautiful look. It will hold its shape. As you can see the difference between these two. So I will keep on repeating the same process till I'm happy. I'm really enjoying doing it. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, now we will move on to the next technique. I am repeating the same process on the top tier, but in different strokes. You can do like this at some places. Now a little bit of medium consistency. So the base is complete and it's looking so pretty. Now I'm going to use some different molds and some cutters to give it different dimensions, as the first dimension has been given with the royal icing, and this will be our second dimension, and these cutters will give the third dimension. The best way to use the silicone mold is to first rub it with a little bit of shortening and then dust it with a dusting pouch and then add the fondant. It will give it a smooth finishing look. Take a piece of fondant and just push it in the mold. To unmold properly, it gets very easier if you push it from the back and it pops out very easily. Now I'm going to use this mold. I'm going to fill them all in one go, so by the time I take them out, I can work on them easily, as they will be able to hold their shape. You can press from the top with the fondant smoother, so the fondant reaches every nook and corner. And if you apply some shortening on your fingertips, it's easier to remove the excess and it's easier to shape them accordingly. Now it's time to unmold. It's beautiful. Okay. So now I'm going to cut randomly, just going around the flower that is prominent, and don't worry about the edges, because when we are going to apply it to the cake, we will merge the edges. That's the technique of Bas Relief. Now I'm going to apply it to the cake. As we have applied the royal icing on the base, so we cannot apply the glue there. I'm going to apply it on the back and just randomly I'm going to place it on the cake. To merge it, I'm using the dressing tool. Just make it flatter. First, push the paste outwards and then make it flatter. So there is no rough edges. Here I would add that I will not disturb this flower because the edges are itself so smooth, so there is no need to merge it, so I will leave it like this. Okay, so the reason I did not add Talos powder to my fondant was that I wanted it softer, so it will lend me some extra time to work on the edges and to smooth them out. If you are living in a humid area, you can add 1/4 teaspoon of Talos powder to every 250 grams of your fondant, but then you have to work very quickly. It's always fun to use different techniques using different sugar mediums. I will repeat the same process with the rest of the pieces. I'm going to add one bigger piece here. This cake will look one piece and it would be different from a distance or in a picture. You cannot tell that this is a two-tier cake. It would look like one. So I wanted to give it this look. We have to keep in mind our hummingbirds. One will come here and the other one will be here, and it will be looking downwards, and so we have to leave the space for the hummingbirds, and then for the rest of the part we can fill in. The royal icing is completely dry and you can see the beautiful texture. Now I will add some flowers randomly. I'm just adding up the flowers randomly. Our Bas Relief effect is done. It's looking gorgeous already. Okay, so now I'm going to make some 3D flowers, and for that I have to roll my sugar paste thin. First I will knead it. Again, I'm not adding any Tyler's powder into that, so I can make a lot of petals in one go, and then by the time I will apply it to the cake, they are not completely dry, so they will give me some time to fix them and to give them a better shape according to the design. Here I am going to use this flower cutter. I am cutting out some circles. Here I am using this cutter from the orchid flower. I will only use this shape as it goes well with my design. I have placed it on my foam pad, and with the ball tool I am going to ruffle the edges of the petals, and this will not only ruffle but this will thin out the petals as well. Now with the dressing tool I will vein it inwards. I will place it on the flower former for some time. When you use the ball tool, just make sure that half of the ball tool is on the petal and half of it is on the foam pad, so it will do its ruffle job, and in this way you can put the pressure in a proper way. For the circles I am using this seashell tube, and I will just vein it on all edges while pushing it inwards like this. Now I will ruffle it with the ball tool, then I'll put it on the foam pad, and the smaller one I will put the indent. Now I will take my flower that are resting on the flower former, and I will add a little bit of glue, and I will add this there, so it will become our little daffodil. It's looking very pretty. In the same way I will add the next one. For these tiny flowers, I have placed them on the foam board, and I'm just putting indent in the center. I'm putting some pressure and veining it, so it will make the petals move upward. Now I've placed them on the foam, and I'm putting indent in the center, to complete their 3D look. Otherwise they would look flatter and we don't want that. For these petals, I'm going to place it in the tulip cleaner and just going to wane it lightly. Now cupping them with a ball tool. To give these petals some shape, I'm placing them in the wave former. Our daffodils are completely dry and they look so pretty. So let's fix them to the cake, and for that I'll be applying a little bit of royal icing because it won't be easier to stick with edible glue as we have royal icing underneath already. Just hold it there for a while and let it dry a little bit. I will just make a cluster of the daffodils here, and then we will see what other flowers that we have made can be adjusted to this design. Now I will attach 2 of these on the top tier. You can add royal icing directly to your flower and then you can fix it to the cake. Now I will add the individual petals that we made and I will shape it into a form of a flower. Not exactly a complete flower, but it would look like half open one. So here this petal is flat and this will be turning over, bending over the first petal like this. Now the third petal, and I am again using the royal icing because it would help them stick better and hold their place properly. So this is our one flower. For the hummingbird, I'm using a styrofoam ball, and this is flower bud. I have cut it half with sharp blade. I'm going to use wafer paper and some of these scissors with different designs, and I will show you how easily we can make the feathers. It's a laborious work, but don't worry, I'll show you the easiest way possible. Okay, so this is the one I made for the bottom tier. This I have cut both of these into half. As you can see, this is the head and this is the body part, and I have attached with a cocktail stick, and these are all the tiny feathers that we will cut with the scissors, and these are the tail feathers, and it would be like this, and the beak will come over here. So I will show you how to make another one, but this time this body will be attached to the surface of the cake and this head will be protruding like this, okay, like he's looking down. So let's get started. These are the feathers of the hummingbird. One feather will come here and the other one will come like this. So I'll show you when we'll fix them on the cake. Isn't it pretty? It looks so beautiful. You can see the tiny details and I will show you how easily you can do it, and it's so much fun to make hummingbirds, trust me. Here are a few templates of the hummingbird. This one I have made already like this, and the beak will come here and the feathers will go there. This one we are going to make this one like this. So this is going to be the body and this will be the head protruding out. So here is another template, and this template we will follow to make the feathers, and these are the wing feathers, these are the body feathers. So we will follow the shape and accordingly we will use the scissors. This is how we will arrange our wing feathers. I will mark ½ centimeter here. Just draw a line. These are going to be the body feathers. First I will cut it straight. I will not disturb this center line. Now I will take this one. This is iron. Once I have cut it straight, now I will not go exactly on this central line but a little bit lower to that. Just keep on watching and then you will understand why I am doing this. So we have one strip like this, but the other strip is opposite way, as you can see. So we need it the other way, and I will hold it again and I will cut it just below the line again. If it's disturbing you, you can make smaller strips to make you grip it better. This is the easiest possible way to make these tiny hummingbirds, otherwise it will be a big hassle to make each body feather. So here we have got this design again that we need, and it won't matter, this part won't matter because it will hide as this will overlap it. Okay, so I will cut the remaining ones. So these will become our body feathers, and we will once we will start working, then we will know that we will be needing more or these would be enough. For the longer body feathers, I will mark 1 centimeter. I will make a straight line, and when you are making the feathers of the hummingbirds, always keep in mind to keep that texture side to the front, so the texture will show. And here I will cut directly with this one on the line, as we won't be needing a lot of long body feathers. First I am cutting through to separate the feathers. So now I will add some cuts, so when they are overlapping each other and they are not fully attached to the body. So there should be a texture of the feathers. For the tail feathers, I will mark 4.5 centimeter. And for the width, I will mark on 8 millimeter. We will be needing 10 of the tail feathers, so we will make 2 extra just in case. I'll trace a line here as well, rather on all the marks. In this way it will be easier for me to cut all of the tail feathers of almost the same size. Now first I will cut this piece and then I will cut the feathers individually. So from here, from one side, I will cut it in V shape, and from here I will cut it almost in round, not exactly round, like this, like a feather should look like, just like this. And I will add some cuts all the way. Once it's done, put it on the foam pad, texture side down, and with your Dresden tool, put an indent in the center. Try to make it as prominent as possible, but be careful that you do not rip the feather. So this rib will show on the back. That's what we are looking for. Like all of these. You can cut 2 together as well, 2 to 3. For the feathers, I need a piece of wafer paper so I can stick my feather wings to that. So I'll be needing 2.5 centimeter, and from here it will be, you can say, 1.25 centimeter. So I will mark 1.5 centimeter here for 2 wings, and for length I need 2.5 centimeter. So on one I will draw a shape. It will be, for example, this part is going to be attached to the body, so it will be narrower, and this will be broader where all the feathers will be attached. So I will make it like this, just roughly, and I will cut both of these on the same line. For the wing feathers, I need 3 centimeters of the length. Not all of these would be 3 centimeters, some would be like 2.5 and 2 as we will go down. So I will cut I will mark a line for 3 centimeters. For wing feathers, I will use this zigzag scissors, and I will just cut on the edge. You need 19 to 20 wing feathers. So now I will mark the lines because I have to cut them separate. Middle feathers, and for that we'll be needing 1.2 centimeters. So these are all the pieces for our wing feathers. This is the base or the surface where all these will be attached. These are the longest wing feather, these are the middle one, and these are the smallest one. So we'll fix all of these to this with edible glue. For the smaller body feathers, I'm not going to put any cuts, only I'm just cutting a line through them. So when you overlap them, each feather will be prominent. But this is so tiny one that I don't want to take the risk of putting the cuts. For the longer body feathers, I have added cuts on each of those, and I will cut them individually as well, because we have to start in a V shape and we have to overlap these. To assemble the wing, I will start with the longest feather, and you have to keep this piece straight on this side, and you will start like this. Like, it shouldn't be straight like this line, but a bit upward. So like the feathers, then when I will go here, I will go down, I will decrease the length of the long feather. So I will keep it a bit upward, okay, by adding a little bit of glue. I will keep on adding the feathers, one overlapping the first one a little bit, not much, and it's not necessary that you overlap each and every of that. Now a slightly lower than the first one, and from here you have to attach it properly. We will add the medium size and then the smaller size feathers. I have started adding the middle ones in the same shape. Make them go up this way. Both of the wings are ready. For the tail, you need to go in V shape. I will start fixing the tail feathers from here and then I will go till here. So we need 5 on each side because there are a total of 10 tail feathers. So it will go like this. I will start adding the body feathers. It will go again in the V shape. First one long feather will come and then 2 will overlap this, and this will keep on going, and then I will add the smaller feathers. You will really enjoy making it, trust me. First I will estimate how many feathers will be added and then I will cut the strip accordingly. If you have to attach the wafer paper to the styrofoam, always remember to add thicker glue, not the thin one. Otherwise, it will not be easy for you to fix it with the styrofoam. Just keep on overlapping and adding the feathers till you reach the top. The head will be protruding out a little bit as the hummingbird is looking down. Now I am adding very tiny feathers to the head. Our tiny head is complete. So let's assemble it. For the beak, I am using 22 gauge white wire and some strips of wafer paper, and this is 5 cm. 3 of this will be covered with the wafer paper and 2 cm will be left out, so I can easily fix it in the styro head. I have cut the strip 3 cm. For this I am keeping the smooth side up. Just add a little bit of glue and start wrapping it around the wire. Once it's done, I will cut it to make the pointed shape. To make it broader from the top, I am adding another strip so I can wrap it around the already added wafer paper. I will cut the excess. We'll go like this. As our hummingbirds are also ready, so we will fix them to the gate. Again, I will fix it with the royal icing. So I will just check here this wing will come and it will be going under the body. So I will apply a thin layer of royal icing and will fix it there.
will be fixed like this. You need to hold it for some time. I fixed one wing and the body, and this wing will be here. So to fix it, I need something. So for that, I have cut this triangle and I will apply some glue and a piece of 22 gauge wire. This triangle part will come here. Okay. I have cut the wire at an angle so the pointed part can easily go into the body of the hummingbird. If you need to bend the wire a bit, you can do it. Now we will attach the beak. Cut the wire at an angle and just push it through it. So our hummingbird is complete. Now the second one, for that I will first put everything there and we'll just check where everything will go. It will be like this, looking to one side. So this looks fine to me, but first we have to add our wings. For the wings again, I am placing a thin layer of royal icing with my palette knife and like this. Hold it there for a while. Now the next wing. Now I will add the tail, little bit more of the royal icing, and then the body will come. I'm fixing the head now, and then the beak. As you can see, this area is looking a bit odd. To fill this gap, I will add some more feathers. So the head will merge to the body. Keep on adding till this gap is filled and the head is merged with the body. Both of our hummingbirds are fixed to the cake, so it looks pretty enough, isn't it? Hope you have enjoyed watching it, as I loved making each and every detail of it, and I hope you will definitely give it a go. Thanks for joining. Bye.